Ever wonder what the real difference is between that cheap store-brand laundry powder and the premium stuff? Well, it's definitely not just the price tag. Today, we're going to dive deep into the precise science and engineering that goes into making a high-performance detergent, one that can actually compete with the biggest brands on the shelf.
So what is the actual technical difference? Because it's not just about clever marketing. No, there's a specific, measurable standard that separates the basic from the premium. And today, we're going to build a formula that meets that exact standard.
All right, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll define what premium actually means in technical terms. Then, we'll look at the chemical ingredients and the machinery we need. And finally, we'll walk through the 3 critical phases of production, step by step.
Okay, first things first. Premium isn't just some word they slap on the box to make you pay more. In the world of detergents, it's a specific technical benchmark that really defines the cleaning power of the product.
The single most important metric you need to know is something called active detergent, or AD for short. This number tells you the percentage of the formula that's made up of the actual active cleaning agents. For any detergent to be considered premium quality, its AD level has to be above 20%.
And you can see our goal laid out right here. The bar on the left shows that industry minimum for a premium product, which is over 20% active detergent. Our target, the bar on the right, is to create a formula that hits 22%, putting it squarely in that high-performance category.
So how do we actually hit that 22% target? Well, it takes 2 things, the right equipment and a very, very precise chemical recipe. This is where the real science kicks in.
On the machinery side, we need 3 key pieces for this lab-scale production. First up is a ribbon mixer, which is just perfect for combining a wet paste with dry powders. Second, a grater. Think of it like a big motorized sieve that breaks up clumps. And third, a double cone mixer for that final, super gentle blending.
And here it is, the recipe for a 1 kilogram batch. Let's break this down a bit. You can see the base powder and the sulfonic acid. Those are our primary cleaning agents doing all the heavy lifting. Then we've got builders and fillers like soda ash and salt. Now check out the water softeners, TSP, STPP, and zeolite. These are absolutely critical because most tap water has minerals that get in the way of cleaning. These chemicals basically grab those minerals so the detergents can focus on the dirt. And finally, you have the really high-tech stuff. SLS powder to boost the foam, an optical brightener to make your weights look whiter, and a cocktail of enzymes, protease, amylase, and lipase. Each one designed to break down a specific kind of stain, like grass, chocolate, or grease. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, our ingredients are measured out, the machines are ready to go. It's time for phase 1. This is where we create the core of our detergent by combining the main liquid and solid parts in the ribbon mixer.
So the whole process starts by creating a paste. Water and caustic flakes get mixed, and then sulfonic acid is slowly added in. Now this is an exothermic reaction, which is just a fancy way of saying it generates its own heat. This hot paste is then poured into the ribbon mixer, which we've already loaded up with bulk powders like soda ash and salt. Then we just let the machine get to work, mixing everything together.
Now this is a super important point. Not everything goes in at this stage. We intentionally hold back 4 key ingredients: the base powder, those delicate enzymes, the colorful speckles, and of course, the perfume. Why? Simple. The heat and the intense rough mixing in this first phase would completely destroy them.
And speaking of those sensitive ingredients, safety here is paramount. These fine powders, especially the enzymes, can be really hazardous if you breathe them in. That's why using the right protective gear, like a high-grade P3 mask, is absolutely essential. You just can't skip this stuff, especially when you're working at a larger scale. So the ribbon mixer does a great job of combining everything, but it leaves us with a little problem: wet lumps. Phase 2 is all about fixing that, and for that, we need the grater.
And wow, this slide really shows the transformation perfectly. Before the grater, the stuff coming out of the mixer is uneven, it's lumpy, it's inconsistent. But after it passes through the grater's motorized screen, the powder is completely transformed. It becomes homogeneous, fine, and totally uniform. A perfect, consistent premix that's ready for the final touches.
This brings us to the home stretch, the final manufacturing stage. We have our uniform base powder, and now it's finally time to add those high-value sensitive ingredients that make this a truly premium product.
Remember those 4 ingredients we held back earlier? Well, now it's their time to shine. The pre-mixed powder is moved over to the double cone mixer, along with that base powder, the powerful stain-fighting enzymes, and the visually appealing colored speckles.
Now, the reason we use the double cone mixer here is because its action is incredibly gentle. It tumbles the material over and over rather than aggressively mixing it. This makes sure that the delicate enzymes and other components are spread out evenly without getting damaged. And it's during this gentle tumbling that the perfume is sprayed into the chamber so it gets absorbed by the powder.
And you know what's wild? This final step is surprisingly quick. The entire batch is just gently tumbled for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's all it takes to get a perfect, even distribution, which guarantees you get consistent performance in every single scoop. And with that final blend, the multi-stage process is complete. We've taken a precise list of raw chemicals, and, through some very careful processing, we've actually achieved our goal.
And here it is, the final number. The proof is in the powder. Our finished product has an active detergent level of 22%. We successfully blew past that 20% premium threshold that we set out to achieve at the very beginning. Mission accomplished.
So, what we've seen is the entire journey, from just a collection of raw materials to a sophisticated, high-performance product. The next time you do a load of laundry, maybe you'll remember the incredible amount of chemical engineering and process control that's hidden inside that simple little scoop.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday products that we totally take for granted are hiding this much science and complexity just beneath the surface?